music, and
Amen.
you know, it's so great when God does look beyond a lot of the things that are in our life, and He sees our hearts. And we're finding out today that there's a lot of young people that have a heart for God and that are willing not just to say it, but they're willing to put it into practice by helping people. And we've got two advisors that we're going to be talking to and who've come along with this fine group of young people. And we're going to be asking them some questions about what they've done this week, and maybe they can share about what some of these young kids have done and not done. And I'm sure they've done everything right. But it's, you know, we have to look at the advisors that do come with the young people, and because that's, what, 26 they said they had, and that's a heavy responsibility to have that many young people and to watch over them and to help them. And I remember what it was like when I was young. I was kind of crazy and
so are these guys.
hard. They're easy to keep under control, I'm sure. But I want to introduce to you Gene and Lori, and so nice to have you here. You've come all the way from Pennsylvania with all these nice young people. We want you just to feel very relaxed and candid, and maybe just share with us some of the things that have happened this past week, and where maybe, I guess, you were over some young people at certain areas, and let us know what happened and what experiences you might have experienced this past week.
Good, yeah, we're real happy to be here. It is an exciting youth group, and we did have some exciting things happen on the job and some exciting things that happen in the evenings, too. And you met some of them there already that keep things real lively. But they're that way all year long, too, so it's fun.
Good.
But we had, I was at Habitat for Humanity out in Wooster for, I keep wanting to say Wooster, but it's
Worcester. That's where we're from.
Wooster.
Yeah, Worcester. And I was out there for the 4 days, and it was really exciting. Like Mike said, our past trips have been down to Kentucky, and they were all construction-type trips. This was really Habitat for Humanity was a construction-type job. And I like to do that. It was fun. You learn new skills personally. This project that they have out there is a really big one because they really have only been organized for a year or so in that area, in the Wooster area. And they had done 2 houses, and they had an opportunity to get 5 houses from the college there.
Yes, I remember they moved that a few weeks ago.
They had a time frame of 1 month that they wanted to raise $100,000. And so they went out on a campaign in the local area, and within 1 month they had raised $182,000.
Praise God.
And that is really something.
Praise God.
And and the Lord was very active in that area. About 50,000 of it was interest-free type loans, and the other 150 was from the local people and from the local community. And there are a number of activities that say they'll give next year now. But this is really a test for them. They have 5 homes. They brought them over in a caravan. It's amazing the way they move these things because they don't even crack a window when they do this.
I know.
It's just
It's
tremendous.
amazing.
Well, when we got here, they had 3 of them set on top of where the foundations are going to be built, and then 2 of them that are still on wheels. But we saw the first day when they pulled out the metal framing underneath the one house. That was really neat to see. But we have done a lot of construction work, and I think the neatest thing for me has been the people that were there. We have an old guy, and I say old guys. The fellows that were working are in their 60s and 70s, and Harold is going to turn 80 in another week. And they're doing all the heavy work. The first day I had two guys with me and a girl. You're going to see the girl later, Tanya. Talk to her. And they really worked hard. But the impressive thing were the men that were working with us. These people that are in their 70s, one of them 80, work all day long in 90-degree weather, lifting blocks, and just really put us to shame. They just made us work really hard. So we worked hard, we were tired, but we really felt like we had accomplished something, and we met some really neat people.
So did they put you up down in Worcester then?
No, we stayed at the Highway Chapel in East Greenville.
Okay,
for
so
the week. We all stayed
down
together, so it was kind of neat. We went out to our projects during the day. We had a bunch of guys working out at Brinkhaven's and for youth. And we drop them off in the morning, then we come back and pick them up in the evening.
Oh, that's great. Well, what happened with you this past week?
Well, I was working at the Women's Pregnancy Crisis Center earlier in the week, and then I was at Habitat for Humanity yesterday. And Gene gave me plenty to do. He gave us, we had a great time. It was wonderful. It really was. Like you said, we worked hard, we were really tired in the evening, but we had fun. We really did. I think we were all amazed at how much we could do. I know when you asked me to take that gravel down in the wheelbarrows, and about the 8th or 9th trip, I was thinking, I'm just not in the right kind of shape for this. And it was like, you know, God, I need some help. I was working with 2 boys, and they were so tired, and we were all working to shovel it into the wheelbarrows. This was gravel that we were. And by the end, we could not lift the shovels. That's how tired we got. We got a little ambitious. We decided we just had to finish this project by the end of the day, and it became a race to see if we could get it done. And
Did you get it done?
Yes, we did.
Great.
Yes, we did. We had everyone going down to check every once in a while, just to get the motivation up. Yes, we are making progress. And
what hours would you work then during the day?
Well, we'd start off in the morning about 8 and drop the other group off. So we'd get there about 8:45, and we'd leave about 3:30. We left 4 o'clock the last day. But it was very steady work because these old gents, they don't seem to want to take breaks, you know. And so it was heavy work and it was steady work. And basically the whole group worked, you know, 8:15 till 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then we had to go down, and we met at the showers down at the YMCA at Massillon. That's where we had to take our showers. So we'd do our showering and then come home.
Oh,
So that's the big event of the day, to take your shower.
Yeah.
Why?
Especially after
all that
work.
hard work.
Yeah.
What do you 2 do during the year? I mean, have you just taken a week off to come with the youth? And
Yeah, I'm a captain in the Navy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I work at what's called the Defense Depot in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
okay.
We receive and ship and store material for the Department of Defense for all the military.
that's great. Lori?
I'm a speech and language pathologist, and I work with the handicapped children in our area. So I get my summers off, and that's why I try to get very involved in all the youth activities. Since I have that free time, it seems like a real good opportunity for me to do some, to work with the youth.
That's great. Yeah, that's great to see that, you know, there's 2 people that, you know, we look at the youth, that they're taking the time out to come out, but to think that the 2 of you have taken your time out, you know, I'm sure you're busy scheduled, and have come to help with this and watch over these guys and girls and kind of get them working and working yourself, and not just watching them work and say, okay, now you get to your work and we'll watch and we'll go do something else while you're doing it, but you get right in there and do the work.
Well, I think it's an excellent opportunity, as you were saying before, with the youth. It's an excellent opportunity to teach them about good, wholesome work and teamwork.
Yes.
And leadership by example. So it's, and those things, those were my objectives this week, and they worked out very well. I was extremely pleased with the kids. You can't believe, they're almost like sailors. They just do anything you ask them to do. They're really good.
Now, since you're in the military, did you run it military?
Well,
No, he was very diplomatic.
Was he?
Yes, he was. Why don't you?
It's not like the whistle didn't come up and
do this. No, it was more than pleased, but no, you don't, really with these people, if you tell these kids to, and I say kids because I am old enough to say that, but you say, you know, do this or do that, and really the last day we didn't have a supervisor there, so we knew the projects that needed to be done and put a couple guys on painting the walls with tars and a couple parging the walls. Lori and Matt were working on that, and I was mixing cement, and we just did our thing, and then we moved gravel, and it was really a lot of fun.
I'll tell you, these guys still look like they have plenty of energy left. I think they could go for another week, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, I hear they're heading to Cedar Point.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we are.
That's great. That's great that they can give of themselves like that.
It's great. It really is. I was working with another girl, and it was just the 2 of us. We just had some small painting to do, a couple of days, and by the end of the day, you're forgetting you're working with the youth because you're just a team, and that's when I was talking with the other leaders. It wasn't like you had to ask them to do something. It was so when it was obvious, everyone just pitched in and just gave as much of themselves as they could, and that's all you can ask of anybody.
And I think, you know, from my perspective, seeing two people like yourselves that are willing to get in right, work right with them and not, you know, just shell out orders, makes them more open to work alongside of you and not to, you know, feel like you're pushing things on them, but that you're working together. And that involves them, I think, a lot more because they feel part of what you're doing.
Could I give a little pitch to Habitat here for a second?
Can.
Because they, I think one of the interesting things is that we had about 10 or 12 different people come by. We had a pair of ladies that were, they were probably in their 60s and maybe a little older, but probably in their 60s, and they were twins. And they were just the cutest ladies. They came by just to observe, and some people brought us lemonade. But there were a number of older gentlemen that came by, and they were very skilled people. And it was so encouraging to me to see these people, and they were Christian people, to see them in their retired years coming out and spending a day, or if they had a couple hours, they'd come by, just dedicating their time and their efforts and their talents to make this thing work. And I really would encourage the people in the Wooster area, you know, to get involved with it. It's on Eastern Street, I believe it is. And to get involved with it, come out and see Ray or Don or one of the fellows and say, hey, I'd like to spend a couple hours doing this. Because they all had such a great time, they made such good friendships, and they added so much. We saw so much happen in just the 4 days that we were there. It's just unbelievable.
I think working together really brings people. I think sometimes Christians have too much of a time to eat together all the time. We always have our potlucks and stuff like that. And it's good to be able to work together and get that type of relationship.
I was so encouraged that a person 75 years old can lift up a cement block. That's encouraging to me, you know, because when I want to do that when I'm 75, and I saw a lot of people doing it, so it was really nice.
Great. Well, I'd like to thank you both for taking the time to come up and share with us and the people out there that are watching, that are in the Worcester area and Canton, and to see dedicated people like yourselves.
Well, if I can say something, please, if you're an adult, get involved with the youth. It is a stretching experience. You're not just giving, you're getting every bit as much as you're giving, and maybe more. Maybe more. You can see
something that can stay behind when we go on. There's still people passing it on, you know, all that God has put within our lives. It's passing it on to others.
Too many times we wait for someone else to ask us. For how, go out and get involved. Don't wait. Don't wait to be asked. Just do it.
Thank you.